If you're a lineman in charge of keeping the lights on, Grainger understands that you go to great lengths and sometimes heights to ensure the power is always flowing, which is why you can count on Grainger for professional-grade products and next-day delivery, so you have everything you need to get the job done. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
And now, a next-level moment from AT&T Business. Say you've sent out a gigantic shipment of pillows, and they need to be there in time for International Sleep Day. You've got AT&T 5G, so you're fully confident. But the vendor isn't responding, and International Sleep Day is tomorrow. Luckily, AT&T 5G lets you deal with any issues with ease, so the pillows will get delivered and everyone can sleep soundly, especially you. AT&T 5G requires a compatible plan and device. Coverage not available everywhere. Learn more at att.com/5G network.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy to see if you could save when you bundle your home and auto policies. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary, not available in all states.
When you're starting off with something new, it seems like your to-do list keeps growing. Finding the right tool helps, and that tool is Shopify. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of U.S. e-commerce. And best yet, Shopify is your commerce expert with world-class expertise in everything from managing inventory to international shipping. If you're ready to sell, you're ready for Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/retail. Go to shopify.com/retail.
Welcome to DTNS Experiment Week. Yes, it is back again all this week. We're preempting our regular programming to try out some new show ideas, explore cross-show opportunities, give you some exclusive content we wouldn't do at other times of the year. So after you listen, please let us know what you think. Feedback at dailytechnewsshow.com. On with today's experiment.
Welcome to beauTECHfication, decoding beauty one feature at a time. I'm your host, Nica Montford, aka Tech Savvy Diva. In this podcast, we discuss the tech behind the beauty sector's products and services and their impact on the ever-changing culture behind traditional beauty, while also paying homage to the pioneers who got us here. The beauty tech industry is a rapidly growing sector that combines both technology and the beauty industry. This industry is experiencing significant growth, with revenue projections reaching over $170 billion by the year 2030. The beauty tech industry includes more sectors than one may think. It's just more than just makeup. It includes skincare, hair care, fragrance, personal hygiene, and toiletry products. And let's not forget its service sectors, such as hair and body treatments. The increasing integration of tech and digital tools are designed to improve skincare, makeup application, overall beauty routines. We're talking personalized cosmetics and smart devices by encompassing the use of technologies like AR, VR, data science, AI and machine learning, also app development, and also biotechnology, material science. And you cannot forget about the Internet of Things. All of these things are used to enhance beauty experiences. I mean, it truly runs the gamut of technology. Let's say that the mass adoption of tech in the beauty space is for real, for real. Time to dive in. For today's episode, we're going to start with beauTOS, where it's no filters, just pure tech. About a month ago, while doing some research for a side quest that I was working on in this very space, I came across BoldHue. BoldHue is a technology company founded in 2020 by Rachel Wilson and Karen Layton. They created a groundbreaking device that formulates personalized foundation on demand. Their primary product is a tech-enabled kit that includes a device that can scan your skin and then mix a custom shade of foundation based on the readings in just 1 minute. With this product, the guesswork in selecting a foundation in a store or online, it gives you you or the customer their own custom mix. I talked about Bold Hue on DTNS, but I became intrigued behind the tech that powers it. And it deserves, to me, a bit of a deeper dive into the technical aspects. One of the unique aspects of Bold Hue is that it combines both hardware and software. As someone whose educational and professional experience has lived at that cross-section, I wanted to see more. While obviously I don't know the specifics behind the tools and technology, but Bold Hue uses, but based on the hardware app, I have some educated guesses on what might go into something like this. The tech kit includes the Bold Hue device, which includes a detachable scanning wand and the foundation pigment cartridges. So, how does it work? The magic wand is held against a user's face in 3 different locations to get an aggregate of the skin tone. It is then returned to the main Bold Hue device where the software just takes over. A custom mix foundation is created from 6 onboard cartridges and dispenses into a glass pod with enough to hold just about a week worth of product. Let's break down the type of technology that could be included in a product like this. Now, before we get started, like I said, I don't know what goes into this particular Bold Hue product, but for something like this, I think we can, like I said, guess what would go into this. Again, that's where we'll start. To me, the scanning tool is the star of the show. There are several key technologies that would likely be used in a facial scanning product. That would be optical scanners and cameras, image processing hardware, software algorithms, and some calibration components. Let's break those down. When we think about optical scanners, optical sensors, and cameras, I would think what would go into this would be 1, high-resolution digital cameras with good color accuracy, multispectral or hyperspectral imaging sensors that capture light beyond what's visible to the naked eye. Also, LED arrays that provide controlled, consistent lighting across different wavelengths. Onto the actual image processing hardware. I would think that there would be a dedicated image signal processor, or ISP, to handle just the raw sensor data, just the raw data that comes from the scan. Also, on that hardware processing, likely some color processing chips for accurate color space conversions. And in instances like this, sometimes specialized AI accelerator chips for real-time analysis are included. And if you think about this, most of the scans are real-time for a product like this.
Picture this. You're in the garage, hands covered in grease, just finished up tuning your engine with a part you found on eBay, and you realize, you know what? I could also use new brakes. So where do you go next? Back to eBay. You can find anything there. It's unreal. Wipers, headlights, even cold air intakes. It's all there. And you've got eBay Guaranteed Fit. You order a part, and if it doesn't fit, send it back. Simple as that. Look, DIY fixes can be major. Doesn't matter if it's just maintenance or a major mod. You got it, especially when things are guaranteed to fit. So when you dive into your next car project, start with eBay. All the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love.
This is Car Tracks with Turtle Wax. Your car says a lot about you. So if we asked your car what it would say about you, what would it say? Listen, you dropped one of those tiny cheeseburgers under the seat like last week, and now we're both dry heaving at the stench. Do us a favor, grab some turtle wax, and let's get to work. This has been Car Tracks with Turtle Wax. You are how you car.
Hey, it's Maya and Sim from the Girls That Invest podcast. If you are an IT or security pro, you know managing devices, identities, and applications can feel overwhelming and honestly risky. That's where Trellica by 1Password comes in. It helps conquer SaaS sprawl and shadow IT by discovering every app your team uses, managed or not. With pre-built app profiles, you can assess risk, manage access, and even optimize your software spend. Plus, it simplifies onboarding, offboarding, and compliance, all while cutting costs by eliminating unused licenses. Take the first step to better security for your team. Learn more at onepassword.com/special offer.
I'm no tech genius, but I knew if I wanted my business to crush it, I needed a website now. Thankfully, Bluehost made it easy. I customized, optimized, and monetized everything exactly how I wanted with AI. In minutes, my site was up. I couldn't believe it. The search engine tools even helped me get more site visitors. Whatever your passion project is, you can set it up with Bluehost. With their 30-day money-back guarantee, what have you got to lose? Head to Bluehost.com to start now.
If you work as a manufacturing facilities engineer, installing a new piece of equipment can be as complex as the machinery itself. From prep work to alignment and testing, it's your team's job to put it all together. That's why it's good to have Grainger on your side. With industrial-grade products and next-day delivery, Grainger helps ensure you have everything you need close at hand through every step of the installation. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Once you account for the sensors and the hardware processing, think about calibration. Something like this would have to be fine-tuned and calibrated, not just initially, but likely multiple times within the process of using it. So in that calibration space, I would think color reference standards are charts that can be used for standardization for the calibration process. Also, white balance sensors to adjust for different lighting environments, because we've seen that the different types of light that a person can be in has the ability to change what the skin actually looks like. Additionally, different filters to reduce glare and improve the measurement accuracy. Finally, we can't forget about AI and software algorithms. So this is where we get to the part where it gets a bit important. So I would think computer vision algorithms for face detection and segmentation, likely some neural networks for pattern recognition in the different types of skin characteristics, regression models to predict optimal foundation formulas, classification algorithms for the different skin types, undertones, and coverage needs. Also, color analysis algorithms that map the standard RGB values. This allows for the translation and the standardization of skin tones scales across the board, because there will be different types of skin tones, skin types, and everything in between. Also, you want to make sure that there is some calibration software included in this to account for different types of ambient light conditions. Finally, machine learning models trained on diverse data sets that accurately classify skin tones across different ethnicities. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. You can have the best models in the world, but if you start with the bad data set, you're already behind. You can't outmaneuver bad data, even with the best algorithms. The second most important aspect, I think, of this product or a product like this is taking in all that data that the scanning tool captured and putting it back into the actual device that is going to do the custom blend so that it integrates back with the full hardware kit so that that blend is accurate to what was scanned. So this would likely entail technology based on digital color matching, automated mixing systems, some quality control technology. Also, we can't figured about database management and optimization, as well as hardware integrations. So let's start with the digital color matching. So in this space, I would think you would have to have data analysis to translate the different skin measurements into actual pigment ratios. I would think that you would need some color prediction algorithms that account for how pigments blend and interact, because again, there are 6 different color cartridges that are used to mix this custom foundation. Also, opacity and coverage modeling to determine base formula leads. So, create some base formulas, and then as you get the different types of skin tones, the different types of skin characteristics, you can build upon that. When we get to the mixing, it is an automated mixing process. So you would think that there would need to be precision dosing based on what is actually the pigmentation that's needed, making sure that those dumps of the different types of colors are dispensed accurately. Also, systems for controlled ingredient combinations, real-time mixing with feedback sensors to verify that the color is actually accurate. So not waiting until the very end to verify it, but do it as you go along so that you can reduce the amount of error. Finally, some sort of technology to inform that the blend is uniform and consistent. Okay, on the quality control side of things, we want to make sure that the mix matches the specifications. That's one in the quality control. 2, you want to make sure that you include sensors for proper texture. And finally, because these are skin-related components that are actually going on human skin, you want to make sure that the pH monitoring for stability and skin compatibility is accounted for. Now, we talked before about having these base formulas to build upon. So this is where we come into thinking about the database and the optimization, because these formulas have to be housed somewhere. So we want to make sure that all of these formulas are stored properly in a database, and also that the formula optimization algorithms that balance the color match with the performance characteristics is included as well. Finally, on the hardware integration side, with this particular product that we mentioned at the top, it has a scanning tool that detaches and then it goes back onto the kit. You want to make sure that the Internet of Things, the IoT, the connectivity for cloud-based processing, continuous learning, this allows for the different pieces of the hardware to talk to each other, as well as for an app that initiates and manages the process, and also includes the capability to update the hardware's firmware as well as time goes on, because when you buy typically one product, you keep it, but there are updates and continuous changes to it as well. Now, there's likely much, much more that goes into an undertaking like this. Just off the top of my head, I can think of the biotechnology and material sciences space. This informs the formulation of the foundation pigment cartridges. But I think this analysis provides us a good look at what type of technology goes into bringing a custom foundation. Now, you may say, why is something like this even necessary when you can go into stores like a Sephora or Ulta or even your favorite department store to pick up some foundation? Let's discuss it further in Culture Debug, where beauty culture gets a code review. Traditionally, foundation matching has been extremely complicated, especially for Black women and women of color. There wasn't always an importance placed on having a diverse range of products for people with melanated skin. Historically, there were about 2 to 4 shades available for darker skins in most beauty brands. I remember seeing this shift when Rihanna launched Fenty Beauty back in 2017 with 40 different shades of foundation. Now it's over 50 shades, but this included a significant amount of diverse shades. With the success and acclaim for her brand, many other legacy brands launched their own, quote, 40 shades of products. Now, while there were a few brands like Makeup Forever and MAC Cosmetics who did have at least a 40 shade range, Fenty Beauty seemed to, supercharge those other brands who shortly after launched similar ranges of products. While most of the conversation has been around the inclusivity of darker shades, I would be remiss if I didn't mention the other spectrum. There are approximately 1 in 17,000 people who have albinism, and approximately 1 to 1.5% of the global population that has vitiligo. Having brands that have a wider range of shades be inclusive also benefits people who have conditions when the extremes include lack of melanin. The positive of all of this is that now we have brands that have 50 or even 60 shades of foundation, which highlights the importance of products being available for all instead of a few. With the inclusion and prevalence of technology, one can hope that it only gets better from here and that all people are fully being serviced and considered. Before the algorithm, there were pioneers creating beauty innovations that, let's say were analog. And the glow up will meet an ancestor that helped pave the way for how we use tech today. Mixing makeup to get the perfect shade is definitely not new. And in the past, individual solutions were once necessary. Eunice W. Johnson and her husband, along with her husband, created, among other things, Ebony Magazine. The Ebony Fashion Fair Tour, which was a fundraising event under the brand. This tour was a pioneer in itself because it used Black models on the runway and helped highlight Black designers. Exhausted by the burden of mixing colors to achieve the right skin tone for her models, Johnson created Fashion Fair Cosmetics in 1973. Her brand of cosmetics created products crafted to cater to Black women's various complexions and undertones. Fashion Fair became the first prestige cosmetic line that Black women could purchase in major department stores. Before we wrap up the show, a quick shout out to Tom, Sarah, Rob, Roger, and the entire DTNS crew for putting this experiment run into the DTNS live feed. Again, this is a pilot and experiment run for potentially a longer show. I would love to hear your feedback, whether through the official DTNS channels or directly through me on social media at TechSavvyDiva on all platforms or via email, IM@TechSavvyDiva. Through this podcast, I'm so excited to dive into all things that make up the unique business that is beauty tech. And I hope that you will join me on this journey. And with that, this is beauTECHfication, beauty and tech perfectly compiled.
Hi, this is Joe from Vanta. In today's digital world, compliance regulations are changing constantly, and earning customer trust has never mattered more. Vanta helps companies get compliant fast and stay secure with the most advanced AI, automation, and continuous monitoring out there. So whether you're a startup going for your first SOC 2 or ISO 27001, or a growing enterprise managing vendor risk, Vanta makes it quick, easy, and scalable. And I'm not just saying that because I work here. Get started at Vanta.com.
If you work as a manufacturing facilities engineer, installing a new piece of equipment can be as complex as the machinery itself. From prep work to alignment and testing, it's your team's job to put it all together. That's why it's good to have Grainger on your side. With industrial-grade products and next-day delivery, Grainger helps ensure you have everything you need close at hand through every step of the installation. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.